What's going on, guys? Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. It's a beautiful evening. I'm happy to have you guys here joining me tonight. Let me see. I think something just happened to the camera. Already having technical difficulties. There we go. All right, guys. As mentioned last time, I'm still getting used to OBS. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for me. But welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being here for Zach Milne Talks Live. I'm honored to have you here. It's going to be a great show tonight. Thank you guys who are watching live, watching the replay. Everyone that's listening over at the Zach Milne Talks Movies podcast. That podcast is available wherever you guys want to find your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. Yeah, let me know if the sound is okay, guys. Let me know if everything's going all right. It looks like it's going okay from my end, but input from you guys is always welcomed. Thank you guys so much for being here once again. I've said that like 3 times now. Let's talk about the show. We've got Cocaine Bear dropped their first trailer today. We've got a trailer for The Mean One, which we'll talk about. We've got a trailer for Super Mario Brothers. Lots of trailers to go through today. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special hit this past weekend. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on that as well. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a kind of a movie that's creeping up on me. Kind of been under my radar, but it is getting fantastic reviews. And this is the end of November. We're starting a new month. So we are going to count down. Well, first of all, we're going to look at December movies coming out next month, and then we're going to count down our 5 most anticipated movies for December. That's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys are paying attention to the community post, or if you're coming from Twitter, you know that you have the chance to win the digital copy code, if you live in the United States, that is, for Elf. I'm giving away the digital copy code for Elf tonight. How do you win the digital copy code, you might ask? Well, it's really quite simple. I'm going to put up right now this website. This is the website that you're going to go to. It's wb.com/redeemmovie. Again, if you're living in the United States and you want a chance to win this code, that's the website you're going to go to, and you're going to want to keep that up for the remainder of the show, because I'm going to drop the digital copy code at any moment in the show. So you're not going to know when it's going to drop. You got to be watching the whole show live in order to win that code. Let's see what's going on with you guys in the chat real quick as I pull this back up. We got Luke Ponto in here, of course. My man, Luke Ponto, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here, Luke. My man, Zach, what's going on, my dude? Hope all is well. All is well, Luke. All is going pretty well. Having a good night. I hope you are too, man. Luke Ponto goes on to say, watched anything good lately? I was realizing I have never seen Wes Anderson movies, so I was starting to go through his filmography. I watched the Darjeeling Limited, I want to say is what it's called, Darjeeling Limited. It's got Owen Wilson in it. It was basically a story about brothers. It was pretty good. I liked it. And I've been going through Andor. I decided to watch, not weekly, but decided to wait until it was done airing weekly. And now I'm starting to binge through that, and I'm really enjoying that so far. So that's some things I'm watching there. Luke Ponto goes on to say sound is great. That's good to hear. Good to hear everything's going well. Josh Jones, hello. Well, hello, Josh. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. With that, we're just going to get this show on the roll. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is this. Because this is something that I've been waiting for. So a couple years back, actually, there was a movie that started to appear on my radar. It was rumored for a long time to be happening, called Cocaine Bear. If you don't know what Cocaine Bear is, basically it's based off of a true events that happened allegedly, where this plane that was carrying drugs crashed. All the drugs got spilled in the woods, and a black bear ingested these drugs and went on a rampage, a cocaine-filled rampage. So now they are making a horror comedy of this bear that goes on a cocaine rampage. They dropped their first trailer for this thing today, and I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it because this thing was ridiculous, guys. Okay, listen to this. Don't Coke the Bear, inspired by the 1985 true story of a drug runner's plane crash, missing cocaine, and the black bear that ate it. This wild thriller from director Elizabeth Banks finds an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converging in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound apex predator has just ingested a staggering amount of cocaine and gone on a coke-fueled rampage for more blow and blood. All right, guys. I was waiting for this trailer to drop. They dropped the first poster for Cocaine Bear the other day, and when this trailer dropped, I immediately went and watched it, and it was kind of everything I was hoping for. This thing is ridiculous. This thing looks hilarious. It had a little bit of a tone that I wasn't expecting from it. I mean, first of all, it's got, whoops, that's the wrong one. First of all, when it comes to the horror element of this trailer, I thought it worked. I thought the humor in this worked. The bear looked great. I thought at some points the bear did look a little bit iffy, but to me, this thing, I just ate this up. I thought it was really funny. They had a little bit of a horror element to it for sure. But it doesn't look like it's gonna be scary. It's definitely going for a more comedic tone. And just this idea that this bear ingests all this cocaine and goes and just kills all these all these people in the woods. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got a little giddy watching this trailer. I got a little bit. I just really enjoyed my time watching this trailer. Whether the movie's gonna be any good or not, I don't know. But this trailer definitely brought the laughs. It brought the thrills. It looks like it's going to be a great time. Did you guys have a chance to check out Cocaine Bear, the trailer? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this trailer. What you guys think of this story in general. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this. All right. Going back to my main camera here. We got Lupanto. I'm checking out Black Sails, which is a prequel to Robert Louis Stevenson's novel Treasure Island. Oh, cool. I've never heard of that. That sounds interesting. Lupanto. I didn't watch the trailer for Cocaine Bear, but I'll check it out. Lupanto sounds so dumb, but so fun. Yeah, man. I mean, I had a great time with the trailer. I thought it was a hoot. It was definitely delivering what I wanted to see from it, but also at the same time, there was an unexpected comedic tone that it had that I also really appreciated and had a lot of fun with that as well. All right, guys, as mentioned, we've got a lot of trailers to go through, and Cocaine Bear is not the only trailer that dropped. So let's move on to this, guys. Oh, where do I even begin with this one? As we know, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, is taking a beloved children's icon, turning him into a horror figure. They're having a lot of fun with that. It seems to be starting a trend because just a few days ago, actually I think it was last month, they announced that a group of people were making a Grinch horror parody film called The Mean One. It's going to take the story of the Grinch. Instead of stealing Christmas, he goes and murders the residents of Whoville. Completely ridiculous. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we got our first look, our first trailer for this thing, and we got our synopsis of what it's about. Guys, listen to what this is. The Mean One, which stars Terrifiers 2 David Howard Thornton, is a hairy green-skinned grump in a Santa suit living on a mountain high above the town of Newville, despising the holiday season. Young Cindy You-Know-Who, whose parents were butchered by the Mean One 20 Christmases earlier, is returning to town to seek closure, but when the Mean One launches a new reign of terror that threatens to destroy Christmas, Cindy finds a bold new purpose, trapping and killing the monster. Normally, this kind of thing, taking a child beloved icon and turning him into a horror figure, is not something that I would necessarily get giddy about, but the character of the Grinch, there's something about the Grinch that just kind of seems like the perfect character to take that kind of concept and play with. Because the Grinch is essentially a monster who lives in a cave. He's like a Yeti-type monster that lives in a cave above a city that fears him. And, I mean, if the Grinch wasn't going to steal presents, steal Christmas trees, and, you know, steal Christmas all in all, I could see Plan B being to murder the residents of Whoville. Obviously, this parody here, they can't use the real names of Dr. Seuss's characters. They get pretty close, though, using names such as... Oh, I played the synopsis again. Yeah, whatever. They get pretty close, though. Playing with the names of Cindy Lou Who, now Cindy You-Know-Who. Very clever. The Mean One, Mr. Grinch. I love the play on that. It's a great title. This movie, honestly, also I want to give a shout out to the makeup on this movie because, yeah, it looks a lot like Jim Carrey's Grinch, but they actually did an impressive job, I think, with the look of the mean one. I don't know how you get away in court saying that this is not the Grinch. I know Dr. Seuss's estate is very strict on stuff like that, so I don't know how exactly they get away with that. But I think that this looks fantastic. And throughout the trailer and through these images, you see a little bit of the goofy side of the Grinch, or the mean one, I should say, in this as well. This movie is super low budget. It does not look like it's particularly going to be well made. It is going to theaters, though. They're putting this in cinemas December 9th. But this movie just looks like a movie that I would love to have found at like 2 o'clock in the morning on some obscure streaming service and watch with my friends and just had a hoot with. Because this does look like a lot of fun. I can't deny it. I'm kind of anticipating checking out The Mean One based on this trailer. I think the concept seems like a lot of fun. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of The Mean One, this Grinch parody that's coming out this holiday season? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. All your thoughts and opinions. I want to hear them. And let's take a look at what you're saying. Luke Ponto. The Mean One sounds atrocious. I think they're wasting money on the dumbest concepts based on children's properties. Honestly, dude, I was kind of with you. I was kind of with you with The Mean One sounding just stupid and a waste of time. But then when I saw this trailer, there was something about it that just, like, it seemed like a concept my friends and I would have come up with about the Grinch or something. I still am waiting for my Cat in the Hat home invasion thriller. I know that that's on the way probably pretty soon here if someone hasn't thought of that already. But when I watched the trailer, my mind kind of turned around. I was kind of like, you know what? This seems fun. This is kind of a fun twist on this concept, on this character, on this story. Turn it into a horror film. Kind of intrigues me. Kind of sounds fun. So I'm actually kind of anticipating checking it out. Luke Ponto. I actually rewatched the first Terrifier last night, and it really grew on me. 4 out of 5. Wow, that really jumped up. Yeah, I saw the Terrifier. That was one of the films that I did find on an obscure streaming service with my friends at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we watched it. Super gory, super gross. Wouldn't watch it again. Didn't particularly enjoy it, but Art the Clown, I mean, the actor who's actually going to be in The Mean One, he's playing the Mean One in The Mean One. I can't call him the Grinch, but he is the Grinch. We know he's the Grinch. But the guy who played Art the Clown in Terrifier, he's going to be playing this in The Mean One. And I enjoy his performance as Art the Clown. I thought he had some like really silly aspects to it, but just that made it creepier. And I enjoyed his performance. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing what he does with this Grinch iteration. Luke Ponto. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey looks more fan film than The Mean One. I agree with that. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is not... I don't really have any interest in checking that out, to be honest. I think it looks very bad. And just like the costumes and stuff like that, it just looks more fan film, like you're saying. But this actually is impressing me. The makeup on it, the way The Mean One looks like. I want to pull up this image again one more time, because I find it really impressive. Like, that's probably where most of their budget went. I think the makeup, the design, I mean, they basically are ripping off Jim Carrey's Grinch, let's be honest, but it looks really good if you ask me. I was impressed with it when I saw it. I was really impressed with it. Jared Runner's in here. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jared. Happy to have you here. Hello there. Well, hello to you too, Jared. Thanks for joining us tonight. Luke Ponto. I doubt you will, but are you going to check out Terrifier 2? Nope, I'm not going to check out Terrifier 2. I made my decision not to watch Terrifier 2 when I heard that it was over 2 hours long, which I believe the first Terrifier is only like 90 minutes. Maybe not even 90 minutes. It might be like an hour and 20 minutes. Terrifier 2 being over 2 hours long. And I watched Chris Stuckman's review of it, and he said that it was like one of the goriest films that he's seen at that budget with that length of time. And so the first one was gory enough for me. I don't need more gore. I'm not interested in checking out the Terrifier 2. Will I ever watch it? Maybe, but I feel like if I did, it'd be against my will. So I'm not really interested in checking it out right now. Life with GR. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Life with GR. Happy to have you in here. Yo back, Life with GR. Thank you for joining us, man. All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic of the night. And this one is actually pretty fun because I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually email me anytime at zachmilnetalkslive@gmail.com. That's ZACHMILNE talkslive@gmail.com. If you guys see a story out there, you guys have a topic or just a question or a theory that you think could be a main topic on the show, definitely email that to me. And today we got an email. We have an email here from Luke. And Luke is saying, "Hey Zach, the new Super Mario Brothers movie trailer was released yesterday. I'm curious to hear your thoughts." Well, thanks for sending that in, Luke. Thank you for being interested in hearing my thoughts. And yes, Super Mario Brothers the movie. I honestly haven't been paying much attention to this thing. I talked about the first poster that dropped with my friend Zach Guller a couple weeks back. And I think the animation looked really good. The world definitely felt like the Mario world. I thought everything from a technical standpoint of it looks really good. The first teaser that they released, I was fine with. I didn't think it was great necessarily, but now we have this full official trailer. And I gotta say, guys, this full official trailer for Super Mario Brothers really charmed me. First of all, I felt nostalgic for this thing. They've really worked, you can tell they've really worked to capture almost every game that Mario has ever released into this thing. I mean, that raccoon costume, I remember that from the Super Mario's, I think, Brothers 3. I think that's the poster that's from. We get the Mario Kart in here. When I saw this Mario Kart scene at the end of the trailer, I was grinning ear to ear. The animation looks fantastic. I love the callbacks to all the games. I actually don't mind Chris Pratt's voice in this trailer. I was a little bit iffy at the end of the first teaser, but hearing him speak throughout this trailer, it honestly did not bother me at all. I was really into it. And I love the character designs. I love the world that they've developed. There were a couple jokes in there that didn't exactly hit too well for me, but I was honestly really impressed by everything that was thrown into this trailer. It really does feel like it's a movie that's made for Mario fans, made by Mario fans. And I'm not even the biggest like Mario guy. Like, I've played the old classic Nintendo 64 games quite a bit. The biggest Mario game of my life has been Super Mario Sunshine. That was like huge when I was in elementary school. My sister and I played that endlessly. But there were things in this that touched my nostalgia bone. It looks so much fun. It looks joyous. It just looks like a good time with Mario on the big screen. It honestly did what a trailer needs to do, and it took my hype level for this little animated Super Mario movie to the next level. I'm actually really anticipating checking this movie out now. What do you guys think of the new Super Mario Brothers official trailer that got released yesterday? Are you guys Mario fans? Did it excite you? Did it disappoint you? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this trailer, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this. All right, we got Luke Ponto. The Super Mario Brothers movie looks awesome. I don't mind Chris Pratt's voice as Mario. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind it at all, actually. I thought it worked pretty well for the movie that they're going for the movie that it's set in. I didn't find it distracting. It didn't feel like it was just Chris Pratt speaking to me. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy's voice as Peach, I thought that worked great. I thought all the voice acting sounded really good. I'm loving Jack Black as Bowser. That sounds fantastic. I thought they were great. Luke Ponto, they brought in the Mario Karts. Yes, they did, Luke Ponto. They brought in the Mario Karts. And I gotta say, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Mario guy. I'm not even the biggest Mario Kart guy. But who hasn't played Mario Kart, whether they're at a friend's house or a party or something? And Mario Kart's fun. And when I saw those Mario Karts jump onto the screen with the Rainbow Road, I got really excited. I got happy. It put a smile on my face. It just looks fun. It just looks charming. I'm very, very impressed with what they're pulling off here, just with the trailers alone. Luke Ponto, what do you think of Charlie Day's voice as Luigi? He didn't get much time to speak in the trailer besides the moment he's getting tortured by Bowser, but I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was like... Yeah, it didn't really stand out to me, to be honest. But I'm not really, invested in what Luigi's going to sound like. I was more concerned about Mario, but I thought it worked fine. I thought all the voice casting sounds great. Luke Ponto, I'm probably the biggest Mario fan biggest Mario fan and biggest Sonic fan I know, Luke Ponto. But yeah, I mean, this definitely, I think I'm going to enjoy this more than Sonic, to be honest with you, just because it's all animated, it's in the world, it's got a lot that I'm, like, I don't really know much about Sonic, but the Mario games, like, who doesn't know the Mario games? And there was a lot in this trailer that looked very familiar to me that I just loved, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Luke Ponto, this is my top 3 most anticipated movies of next year. Yeah, man, next year is so stacked. I was going through the release schedule with my brother, and I was like, all right, this week we get this, and then next week we get this, and then next week we get this, and then next week we get this, and then 2 weeks after that we get this, and then this, and then this, and there's just so much coming out. There's so much coming out next year. I don't know if this is going to be in my top 10 most anticipated of next year, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. It looks cute. It looks great. Luke Ponto, I felt like a giddy little boy seeing the Mario Karts. Yeah, the Mario Karts seem to be the standouts of this trailer, because I'm seeing people on Twitter as well. They're going crazy for the Mario Karts. I think that's definitely the part that got me the most excited. That and the part where they were on the levels, where you had like the fireball spinning and Mario got hit and he landed on the platform and it fell. Also, the beginning of this, I don't know if I have the picture here. I think I do. Yes, I do. The beginning of this trailer kind of starts off. I want to say that they started off this. To me, it felt like Smash Bros. The way that it was like this kind of gladiator arena type feel, and it had all these different platforms up above, and Donkey Kong and Mario are fighting. If you can even call that fighting, Mario just kind of gets his butt kicked. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Smash Bros. I'm just impressed by everything that they're throwing in to this, like all the Mario lore, all the games it's great. I think they're doing a really good job with this so far. All right, guys, and with that, let's move on to our main topics of the night. And topic number 1 is this, guys. All right, this past weekend, we finally got Guardians of the Galaxy not Volume 3. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is now streaming on Disney+. It came out this past weekend. I've been very excited about this. I've missed the Guardians. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I've wanted more Guardians content, and we finally got some to hold us over for Volume 3. Now, we heard the first reactions last week. They were amazing. They were almost too good to be true. So going into this, I was a little bit apprehensive. By the way, I'm just going to talk about this openly and freely. It's on Disney+, and if you're watching a show like this, I imagine that you've already seen it. So I'm just going to talk about it open and freely. So when this thing starts, when we start with the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and it's animated, they start with this animated sequence. I'm like, oh no, did they lie to us? Is it going to be just like the live action characters, the actual actors coming in and out just a little bit? Is this going to mostly be animated? But the thing that they do with the animated, the animated portions of the special, I really liked, because it was a callback to the old kind of Christmas specials that you would get on TV, and I liked how it set up the story of how Yondu ruined Christmas for Peter. I thought that was great, and I really liked that in the trailer they kind of allude to the fact that Star-Lord's feeling kind of depressed because he misses Gamora and it's almost Christmas time and he wants to celebrate Christmas. I was very, very shocked when they revealed that Mantis was actually Star-Lord's sister. I wasn't too shocked that she's actually Star-Lord's sister, in the sense of like, blew my mind that was that was added into the lore, because she hung out with Ego. It kind of made sense she could be one of his children. What I was mostly surprised by is that they revealed that in the special, in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I thought they'd save that for Volume 3. It seemed like such a big bomb to drop, but I love that really brought a more emotional connection between what Mantis was trying to do for Peter, because yes, Peter was depressed about Gamora, and Mantis wanted to cheer him up, but she also was trying to do something nice for her brother, and I loved that. And then we get this musical sequence at the beginning of this special that I just loved. I think it was like, I don't know what Christmas time is, but Christmas is here. It immediately just kind of put me in the mindset of what I was watching. A one-off Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I felt the Christmas spirit start to come in. And then when Mantis and Drax finally go down to Earth, and they want to kidnap Kevin Bacon because they know that he's Quill's hero, and they want to surprise Quill with him. I thought that it was really, really funny. I thought the things that they did on Earth with Mantis and Drax, the fish out of water elements of the special really worked for me. Palm Kementeef and Dave Bautista, like all the first reactions were saying, they were gold in this thing. I loved them. Their odd couple dynamic worked so well. And when we get Kevin Bacon in this thing, Kevin Bacon was hilarious. I love the way that he played this thing. I thought he fit right in with the Guardians humor. The whole moments where Mantis and Drax were chasing Kevin Bacon down, and James Gunn had added a little bit of a horror perspective from Kevin Bacon to that. I thought that worked hilariously. I loved it. And then, of course, at the end, when they do get Kevin Bacon to Quill, and Quill's, I loved when they set up the Christmas lights, and it's like this whimsical feeling, and then they bring out the box that Kevin Bacon's in, and Quill and Peter Quill, Chris Pratt just has a great moment where his face kind of falls, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what did you guys do?" It was super funny, and this special was really sweet. It was way more emotional than I expected it to be. It had a true Christmas spirit feel to it. And the ending of this thing, when Mantis finally reveals to Peter that she is his sister, and Peter responds saying, "That's the greatest gift I ever could have gotten," I got teary-eyed. Like, I got misty. Like, these are characters that I've followed for years. I love these characters, and this new revelation that they revealed in the holiday special, the way that James Gunn presented it, the way that Palm Kementeef performed it, and Chris Pratt performed his reaction to it, it hit me. It hit me. This special was fantastic. It was great. It was everything we were hearing about in those first reactions and more. I cannot wait to watch this again. I absolutely loved it. What did you guys think of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? Did you have a chance to watch it yet? Comment down below. Let me know. What was your favorite part of this special, guys? I think my favorite part of this special, honestly, was when, what's her name? Was when Nebula gave Rocket Bucky's arm. I thought that was a great little deep cut of a joke. I laughed out loud because in Infinity War, and Rocket's like, "I'm going to get that arm." He finally got that arm. I thought it was great. Great attention to detail. Comment down below, guys. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this. Luke Ponto. Like you said, it feels like a movie made for Mario fans. Yeah, absolutely. I think it just has that feel of respect, not just respect for the source material, but like passionate love for the Mario world, for the Mario games. You can just feel that coming through in the trailer, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Luke Ponto, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special was so freaking fun. Dude, I loved it. We didn't get too much of the rest of the Guardians. It was mostly focused on Mantis and Drax, but I loved their dynamic. I loved, and I should have brought this up, but I forgot to. I absolutely loved the design of Groot. I loved the way Groot looked in this. I hope that's how he's going to look in Volume 3. It felt like they added some practical effects to the costume. It wasn't just completely CGI for the very first time. I think the body itself was a costume and the head was CGI. It just looked so tangible. It looked so real. I thought he looked fantastic. And I loved the addition of Cosmo. I thought that was great. Really curious to see if they're going to show how Cosmo gets included into the group in Volume 3, but the effects were fantastic. It was fun. It was funny. It was sweet. It was charming. I absolutely loved it. Schofield Studios. What's going on, Schofield Studios? Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Happy to have you here. Hey, how did you like Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5? Yeah, it kind of was Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5. I think it's my... if I had to pick, like... Guardians Volume 2 and then the holiday special, I put it over Volume 2, and I think Volume 1 is still my favorite. So it's my second favorite Guardians standalone project, not counting like Endgame and Infinity War. I thought it was great. I loved it. Schofield Studios, the music was fire in the special. Yeah, only 40 minutes, but they were able to jam pack it with songs. It worked so well. It was so great. It was so much fun. I've had the Christmas, I don't know what Christmas time is, but Christmas time is here stuck in my head for like the whole week, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Lou Ponto. By the way, Black Sails is a TV show executive produced by Michael Bay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was a movie. I didn't realize it was a TV show. That's cool. Maybe if you like it enough and you recommend it, I might have to check it out. Lou Ponto. Kevin Bacon needs more roles in the MCU. I don't know if he needs to be more in the MCU, but I thought he was great. I like the role that he played in this holiday special. You can tell he committed. You can tell he had a blast. It was so much fun to watch. And I loved when they were on the ship and Drax and Mantis were talking to him, and they're like, tell us how you saved the world through dancing. And he's like, that was just a character I played. And they were like, oh, he's an actor. It's a disgusting actor. I thought that was really funny. And I liked, I thought now that James Gunn is now at Warner Brothers doing DC Studios, I thought it was kind of funny when they started talking about Batman and Drax is like, who's Bruce Wayne? Just fun little like DC Marvel crossover there. Yeah, it was just great. Lou Ponto. Kevin Bacon is so freaking funny in this special. Every time he came on screen, I could not stop laughing. Yeah, he killed it. He was so great. He was some of the best parts. And I liked the song that he sang at the end of the special too. But I think the funniest part that he played was when he was in the Christmas box and he freaks out when he gets out. I thought he was great in that. And also when he's getting chased by Drax and Mantis through his house. I thought that was delightful. Luke Ponto. Have you heard of the show Rescue Me? It stars Dennis Leary as a post 9/11 firefighter. It sounds familiar. Rescue Me. It sounds familiar, but I've never watched it. Yeah, I've never watched that. I know I've never watched it, but the title sounds familiar. Lou Ponto. My favorite moment was the musical performance by Kevin Bacon. Yeah, I didn't actually realize that Kevin Bacon like played guitar and sang and did stuff like that. So I thought he did a great job with that, and I liked the song that he sang at the end. Lisbeth, what's going on, Lisbeth? Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. Happy to have you here. Hey, Zach, a little late, but still here. That's what I like to hear. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for deciding to join the show. Lou Ponto. Groot was hilarious. Yeah, like I loved Groot. I kind of laughed out loud. I did laugh out loud when the band was playing at the beginning of the special and they did the camera swoop around the crowd and you can see Groot in the background just like going like this, like hyping up the band. I thought that was adorable. I love Groot. And the end stinger too at the end of the post-credit scenes where they had Groot being used as a Christmas tree. I thought that was pretty cute too. Schofield Studios. Next, there should be a Suicide Squad Christmas special. Honestly, dude, I'm down. I would love to have a Suicide Squad Christmas special by James Gunn. And like Peacemaker, would Peacemaker be in that? Would he still be part of the Suicide Squad? I don't know. King Shark. Oh man, the things he could do with King Shark in a Christmas special. Harley Quinn. Just the possibilities are endless with that. That's yeah, I'm down. You've got me hooked. I want that now. Elizabeth, I definitely love the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special more than Werewolf by Night. Honestly, yeah, I liked it more than Werewolf by Night. If I had to put it in my Phase 4 ranking that I did yesterday, I think it would be in the top 5. It would be 5 or 6. So either everything Miss Marvel and up would get bumped, so Miss Marvel would go from 6 to 7, and then we'd put Guardians in the 6th spot or the 5 spot. I don't know. You'd move everything up, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special would go to the number 5 spot. Yeah, it was great. Lou Ponto. I'm almost done with season 1 of Black Sails, and it's a very cool show. Nice, man. You have been burning through shows like just like the snap of a finger. So these past couple of weeks, it's so fast, it's so crazy. I've never been like that. I've never been able to do that. I always take months to finish just one show. Luke Ponto. It'll definitely take you a while to watch Rescue Me. There's 7 seasons and most episodes are about 45 minutes to 1 hour. Dude, I'm still trying to get through Breaking Bad, which I haven't even started the 3rd episode yet because I started watching Andor. So now I'm trying to get through Andor as well. I'm on episode 6 or 7. I think I'm on episode 6 of Andor, which has been a really good show so far. And then there's movies I want to catch up on and still want to see. There's so much to watch. I can't handle it all. Schofield Studios. Only thing I didn't like is that they put Kevin Bacon in a planet with aliens and didn't have a Tremor alien on there. Oh man, that would have been awesome. That would have been pretty sweet. Maybe a little bit too not inside baseball, but maybe a little bit too much. Maybe that would have been a bit distracting, but it would have been a fun Easter egg, I think, for fans to discover. Luke Ponto. I liked Werewolf by Night more than the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That's fair, man. I mean, Werewolf by Night was cool. And I think Werewolf by Night, by what I know about you, Luke, was probably more up your alley with the horror element and the killing and the blood and the gore that they were able to do with Marvel. I think you probably lean towards that. But the Guardians, I love Christmas. I'm a big Christmas guy. And I love a Christmas special that can just make me feel the magic of Christmas. You know, that's one of the things I love about Elf so much, which, by the way, guys, still going to give away this digital copy code pretty soon, so stay tuned. But that's one of the things I love about Elf so much is I get the full Christmas spirit and feel from that movie, and I got it from this holiday special more than I thought I was going to get it from this holiday special. So it was great. Lou Ponto, if you like Dennis Leary, you might get a kick out of Rescue Me. All right, man. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll have to see. 7 seasons. That's quite a bit. Luke Ponto. I'm more of a horror guy, so you know me very well. Yeah, you are more of a horror guy. You love the horror. All right, guys. And with that, we are going to move on to our next topic of the night. And the topic of the night next is this, guys. So, one movie that I've heard about but haven't been paying any attention to is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, the second Puss in Boots movie that's coming out. The sequel to the 2011 standalone. They spun off from Shrek, which I saw when I was like 12. My grandparents rented it and we watched it with them, and I liked it. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I haven't watched it since 2011, but now they have this sequel coming out, Puss in Boots and The Last Wish, and I saw one of the trailers for it. Honestly, I didn't think it looked very good. I wasn't a fan of it. I thought the animation I honestly thought it was going direct to Netflix. I thought the animation kind of looked like a kid's Netflix show, that kind of animation, and I wasn't, to me it looked like a downgrade. Honestly, I'm just going to be straight up honest. It looks like a downgrade to me. So I haven't been paying attention to this. Totally under my radar. Don't care. Haven't cared. Couldn't care less. Well, imagine my shock when I opened up Twitter just a couple days ago, and apparently they had a fan advanced screening, not just fan advanced, but critics as well, for Puss in Boots and The Last Wish, and this thing is getting amazing responses. Just looking at some of the tweets here, we've got the Brando critic. Puss in Boots is a great movie. I was shocked to find out that the animation is beautiful, the jokes are hilarious, the adventure is top-notch, the action is exciting, the story is heartfelt with a strong message for all. Don't miss it. Bonus heart for Burrito and Ethical Bug. Going on here, we got Perry Nimiroff. She says, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is excellent. More voice acting gold from Antonio Banderas, stunning visuals, really dig this style, and a story that well explores surprisingly mature themes via a wildly enjoyable fairy tale fueled adventure. Which, I mean, it just keeps going on. Zach Pope. Puss in Boots is my favorite character from Shrek, and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is fantastic. Exhilarating action, phenomenal animation, perfect voice acting, and an argument could be made for the best animated film of 2022. A deep dive into confronting death and learning to love life. Going on to Jerome here, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish could have been a cash grab, but luckily that's not the case here. It's an incredibly fun film that actually surpasses the first film in a lot of ways. The animation is stunning, especially during the action scenes. Going on next, we got Richard Martin. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is so good. Like Shrek 2 good. Animated film of the year easily. One of the most terrifying villains ever in a children's movie. The animation is gorgeous. The film is hilarious. It's a whole package in cinemas next month. Go see it. And it just goes on and on and on and on like that, guys. And when you look at the first Puss in Boots movie, I mean, it did pretty well critically on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got an 86% score, and it's got a 67% audience score. So that's very respectable, the 2011 first film. When you go to the Rotten Tomatoes score as of now, it is sitting at, this is The Last Wish, this is the sequel, It's sitting at a 92% tomato meter for the critics and a 98% audience score. So that's a big jump up from the first film. And just like Twitter, the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, they're also loving this thing. Peter DeBridge says, the stakes may be more serious this time around, but the film's every bit as amusing as you'd expect from the clever as ever team at DreamWorks Animation. Going on to Christopher James, they say the film blends childlike mania with poignant themes of belonging to make this perfect programming for families looking for a movie this holiday season. Going to Randy Jones, exhilarating, gorgeously animated, full of vibrant life in each frame, and paired with a poignantly mature story. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the most poignant thing to come out of the Shrek franchise since Shrek 2. Going on to Carla Hay, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a fun-filled adventure packed with comedic moments, poignant life lessons, and some wacky surprises. This sequel is an instant classic that charms with a talented voice cast, stunning visuals, and a very entertaining story. And guys, it just goes on and on and on and on like that. I only found one negative review when I was looking through all of these reactions. I don't know what to say to this, guys. I mean, this movie is definitely on my radar now. I was not expecting anything from this thing. I thought this thing was going to be an in and out kind of thing in the theaters. I thought it'd be one of those things that when I'm scrolling through a streaming service, I'd be like, oh yeah, they made a sequel to Puss in Boots. I totally forgot. But now I can't wait to check this thing out. These reactions have floored me because I was not expecting anything like this to come out of Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. So the question goes to you guys now. Have you been anticipating Puss in Boots and The Last Wish, or are you kind of flabbergasted like me at the response that it's getting? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. I definitely want to hear them. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying. All right, we got Lisbeth. The first Puss in Boots is heavily underrated. You know what? I think I could say it's underrated. I did really enjoy it when I first watched it. I definitely have moments that stick with me. I thought the Humpty Dumpty stuff, the twist of that was really great. The Hansel and Gretel reveal, or Hansel and Gretel, I believe, were the villains. Yeah, as the villains in that, I thought was really fun. I have very vivid memories of my grandparents laughing their heads off at that development in the movie. And it was good. But I honestly thought the animation in that 2011 one looked better than the animation did in the trailer for The Last Wish. So I am very surprised to hear people saying that the animation's gorgeous and it really works. Maybe I'm missing something. Luke Ponto. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish looks good from the trailers, and hearing the great reviews, I feel like I have to see it. Yeah, man, like even so, like I honestly was ready to skip it. I honestly wasn't anticipating this. I didn't really feel any interest in it, and now I feel a huge desire to check this out. I really want to see what they've done with this. Lisbeth, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish looks a little more cartoony than the first one. Yeah, it does. I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to get at too. It does look a little bit more cartoony than the first one. I feel like it has a very over-the-top animated style. And I didn't feel that from the first one. Or even in the Shrek films. I don't feel like the Shrek films are very overly animated. No pun intended. I feel like they're pretty grounded in the way the characters act and the way that I guess you could say the physics of the world works. And I didn't get that feeling from the trailer at all. Lou Ponto, I think I'll check out Puss in Boots: The Last Wish during Christmas break. That's a good time to check it out, man. I think it comes out, well, I actually have it here. When does it come out? When does Puss in Boots: The Last Wish comes out? I think it comes out on the 23rd. No, it comes out on the 19th, I think. Yeah, the 19th, I think. We'll find out later. I have it somewhere. Lisbeth, comparing Puss in Boots to Shrek 2 is a huge deal. Yeah, absolutely it is. Shrek 2 is still my favorite Shrek film. I think it's still the best of the Shrek films. I think a lot of people agree with that, though. I don't think that's a very out there statement to put out there. But I think the fact that they're saying it's the best in Shrek 2, yeah, that's huge praise. That's huge praise. Luke Ponto, DreamWorks animation may look like Netflix animation, but they are well done. Yeah, and I don't necessarily even mean that too much of a dig. I just, because it looked so similar to Netflix in the way that they kind of use animation in their kids programming on Netflix It looked a lot like what's that stupid bear and that little girl? I can't remember. We were babysitting a kid one day, and they were watching this little German girl with this giant bear. It was this kid's animated thing on Netflix, and it had the animation that looked very similar to what I saw in Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. And so that kind of made me go, oh, I think this is just a Netflix exclusive then. This is just going on Netflix. But it's not. It's going to theaters. So I might have written that off a little bit too. It appears I did write that off a little bit too soon. Jonathan McIntosh. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Jonathan. Happy to see you in here. And I know this guy in real life, so I can say, miss you, man. Miss talking with you. Mario movie new trailer thoughts. I did just do the topic for Mario. I did it a little bit at the beginning of the show. But what I will say is, just not to recap my thoughts too much, but I thought it was great. I thought it looked really fun. It felt like Mario fans made it. It feels like people that love the video games made this movie. I felt the passion behind it. Everything, like from every Mario game, the Mario lore felt like it was put into the movie just from this trailer alone, and I got a big smile on my face with the Mario Karts. Yeah, a big win for me. I thought it was great. Schofield Studios. I still got to see Shrek 2. Dude, you haven't seen Shrek 2? Shrek 2 is one of the first memories I have of seeing a movie in theaters. I remember my mom taking me to go see Shrek 2 with her friend and her little kid. And when the big giant, I mean, spoiler alert, Schofield Studios, but when the giant gingerbread man is walking through Far, Far Away, my mom's friend's kid just started screaming and crying. It freaked him right out. But I have vivid memories of seeing Shrek 2 in theaters. One of the very first movies that I can remember seeing in theaters. It's great, man. You gotta check it out. Luponzo, The Bad Guys is by DreamWorks, and it has awesome animation. Yeah, honestly, I kind of wrote off The Bad Guys because of that, too. It looked Netflixy to me, so I thought it wasn't even coming to theaters. And then I just never bothered to check it out. But you keep telling me to check it out. I know that you love it. You say it's a great movie. I believe you, man. I just gotta get around to it. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Jonathan McIntosh. I didn't even know that there was a sequel. Yeah, I don't feel like the marketing for Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, has been that strong. I don't feel like they've really put the movie out there. And if it's getting this kind of response, and if it's getting this kind of love, and it has this much praise, I'm surprised they haven't been marketing and promoting this movie a little bit more. Because I had to search for the trailer to really see anything from it. I haven't really seen anything that just pop up in my face. Schofield Studios. Just remember that they possibly had low expectations, and some movies get good reviews early and bad reviews later. No, absolutely. Yeah, that's totally something to consider, Schofield. You're totally right. I mean, that tomato score at what was it, 92%, I think it was. That could go up, that could go down. It most likely will go up or down, but how many reviews was it at? Can I pull that up? I don't know if I can pull that up fast enough. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. How many reviews did it have? It has, get close to the screen there, 12. Okay, yeah, it only has 12 reviews. That's not very much at all. Yeah, you want it to get to like maybe more so in the hundreds of reviews before that tomato meter really cements. So that number is definitely going to fluctuate. That's either going to go down, that's either going to go up, or it could stay where it's at. But with 12 reviews, yeah, you're right, Schofield Studios. That's not going to be its final score. Luke Ponto, Puss in Boots was fun, but The Last Wish has the potential to be better than the first. Well, if we're listening to these first reactions and we're believing them, it sounds like it is going to be better than the first. Yeah, I actually am really interested to see what they do with it. Lisbeth, finally something else to watch in December other than Avatar. Actually, in our next topic coming up here, we're going to go through some December releases. So there's actually quite a bit to watch other than Avatar, Lisbeth, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I find that comment really funny. Luke Ponto, I definitely go see this one over Avatar 2. I'm still going to see Avatar 2 before I see Puss in Boots Puss in Boots and The Last Wish is going to come out before Avatar 2. But I don't know if I'm going to rush out to theaters to see Puss in Boots necessarily. I want to, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But I'm definitely seeing Avatar 2. Like, whether or not it's going to be great, it's going to be crappy. I think the trailers for Avatar 2 have honestly not been good. I was talking about this with my cousin and my brother actually last night. We were all hanging out. And I think they have banked too much on Avatar 2 with people remembering how great the technologically advanced world was back in 2009 and the experience they had in 2009 when they watched it. I feel like the trailers have not really done a good job selling people why they should watch this 3 hour long movie besides the visuals. Because, yeah, the visuals are stunning, and in the trailers, I'm impressed. But there is, especially by the final trailer, I really had that sense of, like, what else you got? Like, I don't remember these characters. Don't sell me this movie like these are beloved characters that I haven't seen in a very long time. I just remembered yesterday that the guy's name was Jake. The main guy in Avatar's name was Jake. Like, I feel like the trailers could have done a lot more to make this movie seem more exciting. But I'm still there. I'm still looking forward to it. Spoiler Kings, welcome Spoiler Kings. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. Hey, what's up? Not much, Spoiler Kings. Just having a great time talking with all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Luke Ponto, I think it's Norm of the North. Ooh, Norm of the North. That's kind of what it looked like too. That's not what I was thinking of. That's not the little German girl and the bear that I was thinking of. But Norm of the North, man, that was a bad animated film. Who was that? That was Rob Schneider. Oh, Rob Schneider. Oh, that guy's poor career. Luke Bonto, Norm of the North is one of the worst animated movies ever made. Yeah, I think I've only watched it once, and it was atrocious. I couldn't get through it. Jonathan McIntosh, I know you probably have already covered this, but do you think Avatar 2 will reach the budget of $2 billion, or will it lose money like Mulan? Okay, so that is something that actually requires a whole topic of itself to really get into, but there's been this whole thing going around the internet that Avatar 2 needs $2 billion to break even. That's not true. I listened to John Campia's podcast, which if you guys don't listen to John Campia's podcast, he's really good at breaking down the movie news and stuff like that. He's definitely a big inspiration for Zach Milne Talks Live. But he did a great breakdown of what it would mean for Avatar 2 to have to break $2 billion to break even, and they would need like a production budget of like $1 billion, $1.1 billion, which no studio is ever going to give James Cameron. And all it comes from is a quote of James Cameron saying that when he pitched Avatar, the sequels to Avatar, he told the studio that they would need to be the fourth or third highest grossing film ever to break even, which worldwide, all those films are over $2 billion, or yeah, they're over. Are they all over $2 billion? I think only Avengers Endgame and did Force Awakens get $2 billion? Anyways, they're all in that kind of range. But if you look at domestic numbers, the biggest movies of all time domestically, which isn't worldwide, they're like 800 $900 million dollars. And that's kind of what's kind of come out, is that Avatar 2 needs to make more so around 800 million to break even, which is not $2 billion. It's a much less than $2 billion, but even $800 million to break even, that's a lot of money just to break even for a movie. But yeah, this whole thing about Avatar needs to reach $2 billion in order, or else it will lose money. I don't think so. And I do think that Avatar 2 is going to make its money back, because it is getting a China release, and I think China's really going to support the movie and really eat this movie up. I think that's going to give a big gross. I could see Avatar 2 hitting $1 billion. I think if it's good, and if the audience responds to it like they did in 2009, like if the technology has advanced enough and has grown to the point where it's impressive again from 2009, which the trailers, like I said, look really good, it could potentially, I think, reach the $1 billion, $1.5 billion. I don't think it's going to get $2 billion, but it's definitely going to break even. I don't think it's going to lose money. Luke Ponto, the points you're making about Avatar 2 are spot on. Oh, yeah, about the trailer? Thanks, man. Jonathan McIntosh, Andor finale thoughts. I haven't watched the finale yet. And Andor, I did for the very first time something I've never done with the Disney Plus shows. I didn't watch it weekly. I've waited until the whole show's been finished, because they told us early on. The show creators said that they were going to intentionally be making 3 episodes basically its own story arc. So every 3 episodes is another story. So I didn't want to wait a week to like just wait for the story to get finished. So I was gonna wait for every 3 episodes to drop and then watch them in that, but I just waited until the whole show came out. So now I'm binging through it. So I'm on episode 6. I believe I'm on episode 6, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the show is the production budget, the production value on the show is what I wish Obi-Wan Kenobi had. This show looks beautiful. I love that it's shot on location. The dialogue is great. I honestly think that this is the best acted Star Wars project ever. Like, I think all the Star Wars movies, not that the acting's bad in those. Some of the acting's a little wonky, especially in the prequels. But of all the Star Wars stuff, I think that this show has the best acting of it. It's been really, really entertaining so far. Where are we at now? Schofield Studios. Even if Avatar 2 flops, Cameron said he can stop at the 3rd film, so it's fine. Yeah, but James Cameron, can you really stop James Cameron? Because the 3rd film, I was reading today, I think it was on Variety, that the 3rd film is wrapped, and they're already beginning production on Avatar 4. And I think James Cameron just came out maybe today, maybe yesterday, and said that he actually has plans for an Avatar 6 and 7, which is just, like, insane. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, it's his baby. He feels really attached to it. I don't really know why James Cameron is so attached to Avatar. Like, I don't know if this is just something that he, like, thinks that we just don't get, and he's trying to really push it into the general audience's face and be like, I am a creative genius. You can't see it, so I'm just going to keep pumping these out until you finally see how great these are. Like, I think they're great. I don't know if that's what James Cameron's got going on, but I find it really bizarre that he's so fixated on Avatar. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. Luke Ponto. Avatar 2 is not going to outgrow Top Gun Maverick, calling it. Honestly, dude, I hesitate to disagree with you. I only hesitate to disagree with you because Top Gun Maverick was this cultural moment that we haven't seen for a very long time. Like, I don't know exactly what it was about Top Gun Maverick. It was definitely word of mouth, and the movie's phenomenal. It's great. But there are people that I never hear talking about going, like, in my own life. Like, there are people in my life that I never hear talking about going to the movies that were like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see Top Gun Maverick a second time. We're going to go see it for a third time. Like, people just went out in droves to that movie. Something about that movie touched everybody. It was this big cultural moment that I don't think even Tom Cruise himself could have ever anticipated. It's a miracle that movie got $1.5 billion, and it's a testament to how well they made it and all the talent involved. Avatar 2, unless it has that cultural moment again, and also the legs on it has to be great. It's 3 hours long, though, so I don't know how many people are going to want repeat viewings. It's tough to say if that's going to beat Top Gun Maverick. If I had to put money on it right now, I would say, oh man, what would I say? I think because it got the China release, I think worldwide it is going to surpass Top Gun Maverick. I think domestically, though, I think Top Gun Maverick is going to stay above it. That's just my guess. Elizabeth, Avatar will probably get a buttload of cash because of parents watching it because they loved the first one. I've met way too many parents that their first date was watching Avatar. Oh, really? That's kind of sweet. That's kind of cute. Yeah, I mean, my goodness, 2009. I was 10. I was 10 when that came out, and now I'm 24. So yeah, it's nostalgic for some people. It's not nostalgic for me, but it's definitely going to be nostalgic for some people. Yeah, that's crazy. Jonathan McIntosh, are you excited for Bad Batch Season 2? No, I don't really watch the animated stuff. I don't know what it is. Like, I like animated movies. I can totally watch animated movies. I'm excited for the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm actually now anticipating Puss in Boots. But the animated TV shows, I can't find myself sitting down at home watching an animated TV show. Occasionally I can put on like a nostalgic thing like Phineas and Ferb or SpongeBob or something like that, but I like 1 or 2 episodes of Bob's Burgers and I'm done. 1 or 2 episodes of The Simpsons and I'm done, and I don't really watch The Simpsons. But yeah, animated stuff, TV form, I just don't really get into. And my brother's been like, for years he's been trying to get me to watch like the Clone Wars. The Tales of the Jedi came out recently. Bad Batch, Rebels is another one. I just can't get into it. Like even Marvel's What If. is lower on my ranking for Phase 4 because I just animated stuff on TV. I just don't find myself going to very often. So no, I haven't watched Bad Batch at all, and I don't really feel any plans to watch season 2 or anything like that. Schofield Studios. Cameron will start a religion on Avatar in a few years. Just wait. Oh my goodness, yeah, Pandora, the Pandorians or whatever they're called. No, what are they called? They're called the Nairi. Oh my goodness, I don't remember what they're called. The Nairi or something like that. The Tiri. I can't remember what those stupid aliens are called. Luke Ponto. Wakanda Forever is getting close to 1 billion. It's at 680 million. Yeah, I think that's. I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna get 1 billion. I think it's gonna come close. I think it's probably gonna top off at like 950 million. But I've been wrong very, very many times before. But I feel like people, at least in my circle, in my life, I feel like they've started to kind of wind down on Wakanda Forever. Like, people have seen it. Some people have seen it twice. And now they're just kind of like ready to move on. More stuff is coming out in theaters that they're going to want to go revisit. Wakanda Forever is close to 3 hours long. So I don't know how much more legs it has, but it could hit 1 billion. I think it's gonna come shy of 1 billion, but we'll see. Jonathan McIntosh. I remember my parents talking about watching Avatar in theaters. Yeah. That's the one movie that I have memory of that my dad and I could not get into. My dad used to take me to movies all the time on the weekends. Every big blockbuster tentpole movie that was coming out, my dad would take me to, and we were always able to, and this is also before pre-reserved seatings, so we were like, he was always able to get tickets the night before or a couple days before and have them ready for that night, or we would just go to the theater that night and stand in line and get tickets, and we always had no problem. Avatar 2, we tried 3 weekends straight, and that was the one movie that every time we tried to go watch it, it was sold out. We just couldn't get tickets for it. So I never got to see Avatar in theaters, but Elizabeth has a spoiler alert on here. Let me just one sec. Let me read that for a second. Okay, yeah, this is fine. This isn't too big of a spoiler at all. Elizabeth, spoiler alert. When I went to watch Wakanda Forever and the people of Namor attacked Shuri, a guy in my theater yelled, "We want Black Panther, not Avatar." Yeah, I think James Cameron might be a little bit mad at the Marvel Studios people because, yeah, they kind of introduced blue people, underwater technology, kind of pulled the rug under the feet of Avatar a little bit in Wakanda Forever. But I don't think that the similarities are actually going to be that big. I'm sure Avatar 2 has a much different story than Wakanda Forever. But I do find it kind of funny that they kind of beat them to the punch in the theater. All right, guys, this was great. We got a lot of engagement going on here. So we're going to move on, guys. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give away the digital copy code, guys. So if you're just joining, if you're just coming into the stream, go to wb.com/redeem-movie if you're living in the United States. Once you get there, I'm about to put up the digital copy code for Elf, and you guys are going to have a chance. Type as fast as you can to type in the digital copy code. Be the first one to do so, and you will be spreading Christmas cheer to your digital library by owning Elf. All right, you guys ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get ready. There is the code, guys. So be sure to write that in, copy and paste it, screenshot it, do whatever you got to do to be the first person to type that code in and get Elf in your digital library. It's only going to be up for another 5 seconds. So be sure to type fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's gone. It's gone forever. If you didn't save it, if you didn't screenshot it, I'm sorry to say that's the end of it for you. I don't know if I want to say that. That's a little mean. But anyways, guys, with that, let's move on to our, I don't even know what kind of topic this is. Is this our 6th topic of the night? I feel like we've done so much tonight. All right, moving on, guys. We are going on over to our last topic of the night. And the last topic of the night is this. Today marks the end of November, which means we are proceeding into December, a new month, which means a whole bunch of new movies. So, I thought it'd be fun if we looked at some of the big upcoming movies, talked about them, and then gave our ranking for our top 5 most anticipated of December. Now, these aren't every single movie that's coming out in December. That would take way too long to get through. These are just the big standouts. These are the big tentpole ones. And without further ado, let's get into this. And starting off, we've got December 2nd. Coming out December 2nd, we've got Sir on Netflix, a documentary about Robert Downey Jr. paying tribute to his late father, chronicling the life and eccentric career of the pioneering filmmaker of Robert Downey Sr. I think this looks like a very sweet, nice documentary. Robert Downey Jr. honoring his father, paying tribute, and I honestly... I don't know anything about Robert Downey Jr. Sr., so I'm looking forward to learning about him in this documentary through the eyes of his son. Also on December 2nd, guys, and I know a lot of you guys are excited for this one, we've got David Harbour in Violent Night. Santa Claus taking on some mercenaries. When a group of mercenaries attack the estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step in to save the day and Christmas. The trailer for this thing looks absolutely bonkers. It looks absolutely ridiculous, and I am here for it. It looks like so much fun. It's like Die Hard meets Home Alone with Santa Claus in there. I think it looks fantastic. The reviews have been coming out today. I've been seeing some. It sounds like it's as fun of a time as I want it to be. So on December 2nd, definitely look out for Sir on Netflix and Violent Night. Coming up next on December 9th, we've got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio coming out on Netflix, a dark, twisted retelling of the famous Carlo Collodi fairy tale about the wooden puppet who dreams of becoming a real boy. When Pinocchio comes to life, he turns out not to be that nice of a boy, creating mischief and playing mean tricks. He eventually learns a few lessons. Also coming out on December 9th, on Apple TV, we got Emancipation, based on the true story of a runaway slave aiming to reach the Union Army and his only chance at freedom. And this is kind of like the return of Will Smith. I don't know if you want to call it the return of Will Smith from the Oscar situation that happened at the last year's Oscars. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I watched the trailer a couple days ago. It looks so much better than the Disney Pinocchio that they released on Disney Plus. And I'm not even a hater of the Disney Plus Pinocchio. I actually enjoyed the film. I didn't understand all the hate that it was getting. I found charm. I thought it was kind of endearing. But this Pinocchio, the trailer for this looks great. I love the stop motion animation that Guillermo del Toro is doing. It feels like it has a lot of heart, and I'm really anticipating checking this out. I think it's going to be awesome. And Emancipation with Will Smith, I watched the trailer for that too. Looks kind of heavy, but also looks real emotional. Looks great. Will Smith looks great in it. Unfortunately, he's banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years, I guess. Or I think he's only banned for attending, so maybe he can get nominated for this. Definitely looks like a project that he could get nominated for, but on December 9th, guys, definitely keep your eyes open for Pinocchio and Emancipation. All right, coming up next on December 16th, and this is kind of the only game in town, we've got Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, I've had my criticisms about the way that they've marketed this movie. I think the trailers have been poor. I think they've banked too much on people's nostalgia or their thoughts of people having nostalgia for Pandora, for these characters. If you can name 2 characters' names in this movie, then you get a high five. I can only remember Jake. And but I'm still really looking forward to this movie. The trailers do look very impressive technologically speaking. I think the 3D sequences, I saw some 3D sequences when I went to go see Wakanda Forever when the trailer played. It looked phenomenal. This is the one movie I'm actually going to seek out to see in 3D. I have faith in James Cameron. He's a great filmmaker. I'm sure he's delivering something exhilarating and thrilling and fun with this. But, you know, there's also that worry of, is James Cameron being too indulgent in his own creative mind, that he thinks he's the greatest creative out there, that this is the be-all, end-all for movies, and will it actually suck? Will I not connect to it? I don't know. But on December 16th, there's no denying that Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be a big one. All right, guys, coming up next on December 21st, also one of the only games in town, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Puss in Boots discovers that his passion for adventure has taken its toll. He has burned through 8 of his 9 lives. Puss sets out on an epic journey to find the mythical last wish and restore his 9 lives. Now, we talked about this earlier on in the show, guys. I was not looking forward to this at all. It was completely off my radar. I was just going to let it pass by, breeze by, wasn't going to think about it, didn't care, don't care, couldn't care less. And then all the reactions came out. All the fan reactions from the advanced screening came out. The critics on the Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. 92% of the critics at least liked it. So now you've got me kind of curious. I'm anticipating this. I'm curious to see what they've cooked up. I did enjoy the film from 2011, the first Puss in Boots movie. I love the Shrek films, obviously. So this is something to look for out now on December 21st. All right, guys, moving on next to December, or that was December 21st. So moving on next to December 23rd. We've got Babylon, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and please let this be the time I get to watch it. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery coming to Netflix. Babylon is a tale of an outsized proportion, or outsized... Babylon is a tale of outsized ambition and outrageous excess. It traces the rise and fall of multiple characters during an era of unbridled decency and depravity in early Hollywood. Moving on to I Want to Dance with Somebody, the joyous, emotional, heartbreaking celebration of the life and music of Whitney Houston, one of the greatest female R&B pop vocalists of all time, tracking her journey from obscurity to musical stardom. And finally, Glass Onion and Knives Out coming out on Netflix December 23rd. Famed Southern detective Benoit Blanc travels to Greece for his latest case. Obviously, Babylon's a huge one. That's Damien Chazelle. I can't remember how to say his name. That's his new movie. That's a big hit. I Want to Dance with Somebody. I like a good biopic, especially about a musical artist. I always learn something new about them and get introduced to new music along the way. So looking forward to checking that out. And of course, Knives Out. Glass Onion. I cannot wait to see this movie. I've been waiting. It feels like ages to see this movie. It didn't come to theaters in my section of Canada, so I gotta wait till Netflix, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. Moving on, guys. This is ending out the month on December 25th to the 30th. We've got Matilda the Musical coming out on Netflix. We've got a movie called Woman Talking. A group of women in an isolated religious colony struggle to reconcile their faith with a series of sexual assaults committed by the colony's men. That's coming out on Christmas Day. Sounds like a very Merry Christmas movie to be watching during the holidays. And finally, on December 30th, we've got White Noise coming out on Netflix. Jack Gladney is the world expert on Hitler studies. He's afraid of death. His wife, Babette, is also afraid of death. In this black comedy, Jack must deal with death, airborne toxic events, mysterious pills, and the strange complexities that make up life. And that, guys, there is the rundown for some of the bigger movies out there coming out in December. And now that we've gone through all those movies, guys, let's rank them. Or not rank them. Let's give our top 5 most anticipated for the month of this December. And coming in for me at number 5, it was not number 5. Let me tell you guys, this was not number 5 when I first had it on here. Actually, at number 5 before this was Babylon. But now that we've had all these reactions come out, my number 5 is Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. I can't help it. I'm curious. I got to see what all the hype's about. I got to see what they did with this. I do love the character of Puss in Boots. I love the Shrek films. It sounds like this really hits what made the Shrek films special. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they've cooked up for Puss in Boots, and he comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 for my most anticipated is going to be Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Like I said, the trailers for this were great. They were epic, and they seemed so emotional. They had a lot of heart. The animation, the stop motion looked great. It's coming to Netflix, so I can just watch it at home. Kind of wish I could see this in the theater, but really looking forward to seeing what Guillermo del Toro's done with his interpretation of Pinocchio. Coming in at number 3, guys, is going to be Violent Night. I think this looks like a hoot. I think this looks like so much fun. David Harbour as Santa Claus kicking butt on a bunch of mercenaries. The action in the trailers look like a lot of fun. The gore, the violence. I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, I might do a double feature. I might watch Violent Night and then go and watch The Mean One and have a double feature of violent Christmas movies. That sounds like a good time, a very Merry Christmas. Coming in at number 2, guys, and this one got moved down. Avatar: The Way of Water. I know this is going to be lower for quite a few people. I'm still anticipating this movie, despite my problems with the trailers. I still hope that this movie pulls off an epic tale. I hope that it's expansive in the big screen movie theater. I hope it looks gorgeous. I hope it's fun. I hope the technology blows me away. I have high hopes for Avatar: The Way of Water, and for that reason, it comes in at number 2. And finally, at number 1, and please let this be the last time that I have to put this at number 1, is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. A lot of people out there, they've been lucky enough. They got this in theaters for a week. They've already seen this thing. They're loving this thing. I've seen the reviews. It sounds great. Just give it to me. I've been waiting what feels like forever to get this movie. I'm so excited to check this out. I love the first Knives Out. The trailers for this look great. All the reviews, all the hype that I'm hearing makes it sound like it's great. I cannot wait to check this out. Unfortunately, I'm going to be checking it out on Netflix, not on the big screen, but nonetheless, cannot wait for this murder mystery from Rian Johnson. For that reason, it's coming in at number 1. Now I want to hear from you guys. What are you most anticipating for the month of December? Is it something I didn't even mention on here? Are you anticipating the mean one the most? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on your most anticipated of December, guys. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at what you guys are saying. All right, guys, and with that, we have reached our final topic of the night. So we are just going to go on and we're going to take your live comments and questions for the majority or for the rest of the stream, for however long you guys want to go for. If you guys want to, the super chat function is open. If you want to, if your heart desires it, if you want to donate, if you want to support the channel, any level is very appreciated. But regardless, you don't have to. I'm still going to take your comments and questions in the chat there. But before we get to your comments and questions, let me just tell you guys really quick about Movie Palette. If it would play. Real quick, before we continue with this video, I want to tell you guys about the great folks over at MoviePalette.com. MoviePalette takes a color of every scene from your favorite movie and puts it on a beautiful canvas. Behind me right here, I got their Back to the Future selection hanging up above me, my favorite movie of all time. And MoviePalette.com has thousands of your favorite movies to choose from. And for the wonderful viewers of the Zach Milne Talks Movies YouTube channel, you guys get 15% off of any movie palette of your choice when you go to MoviePalette.com and use the promo code ZachTalks15 at the checkout. That's ZACH Talks15. Not only will you guys get 15% off of the movie palette of your choice, but you'll also be helping out the Zach Milne Talks Movies channel tremendously. So go to MoviePalette.com and use the promo code ZachTalks15 at the checkout to get 15% off of any movie palette of your choice today. And thank you to the good people over at Movie Palette for partnering up and supporting the Zach Milne Talks Movies YouTube channel. All right, guys. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys, and yeah, Movie Palette. I mean, if you have a movie lover, if you're a movie lover yourself, the holidays, they're quickly approaching. It's a great gift to get someone. Use that code, ZachTalks15. You'll get 15% off, and you'll be helping out the channel as well. So, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. Your movie lover friend gets a gift, you get a discount, and you help out the channel. All right, guys, and with that, let's go on to your comments and questions. Schofield Studios. Willy Wonka and the Blood Factory coming soon. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before someone comes up with a Willy Wonka. It's prime. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Willy Wonka is the prime kids fictional story to be turned into a horror film. That's gonna happen soon for sure. Lisbeth, I am pumped for Violent Night. Me too. I think it looks so much fun. Lisbeth goes on to say David Harbour is great as Santa Claus. He does look great. I love David Harbour. He's slowly kind of becoming like the actor that I look forward to seeing in movies. I loved him as Red Guardian. I love him in Stranger Things. And he looks great in this movie too. So I'm really looking forward to it. Luke Ponto. Violent Night is basically if John Wick was Santa Claus. Yeah, it kind of has that feel. If I'm not mistaken, one of the guys, or both of the guys, I think it's just one of the guys from John Wick is involved in Violent Night, isn't he? I think he is. Could be wrong about that. I thought I heard that somewhere. Schofield Studios. I already saw Pinocchio in theaters. You lucky duck. You lucky duck, Schofield Studios. I'm just slightly jealous. Just slightly. That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you got the chance to do that. Schofield Studios. I already saw Pinocchio in theaters. The movie is amazing and better than every other adaptation, even the original. Wow, that's high praise. I mean, Guillermo del Toro, man. I expect nothing less. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. Luke Ponto. Here are my top 5 most anticipated movies for December. At number 5, Babylon. At number 4, Sir. Oh, you got Sir in there. That's awesome, man. At number 3, Pinocchio. At number 2, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And, of course, at number 1, Violent Night. That's a great list, man. That's fantastic. I love that. I like that you have Sir in there, man. It sounds like a great documentary. Schofield Studios. It's emotional, mature, unique, heartfelt, beautiful, and even better than Pan's Labyrinth. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I cannot wait to see this Pinocchio film. Schofield Studios. Pinocchio is easily the best animated movie this year. Anything with Christoph Waltz and Ewan McGregor is obviously good. I forgot Christoph Waltz and Ewan McGregor were in that. Yeah, man. This movie has so much going for it. And it might be giving Puss in Boots and The Last Wish a run for their best animated of the year, it sounds like. It sounds like it's between them and Puss in Boots. Luke Ponto, Violent Night is going to be awesome. This will make up for the 2019 Hellboy with David Harbour. Yeah, I didn't even bother seeing that. I saw a couple clips of that online, and I was like, this movie doesn't look great to me. I'm not going to go see that. And then I heard it was crap, so I kind of felt good about myself. I also did that with Vin Diesel's Bloodsport, whatever it was called. I was like, this movie doesn't look good. And then no one liked it, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't watch that. Elizabeth, I can't watch 3D because I need glasses and I can't see without them. So the only way I can watch 3D is putting the 3D glasses above my normal glasses, and it's really uncomfortable. Elizabeth, I know, you're preaching to the choir. I will suffer it for seeing Avatar 2 in 3D. If there's any movie that you got to see in 3D, I missed seeing Avatar 2009 in 3D. Everyone always says how that is the quintessential movie to see in 3D. I'm not missing out this time. I am seeing Avatar 2 in 3D. And, I mean, eventually you get kind of used to the uncomfortableness in the movie theater. I had to watch Wakanda Forever in 3D, and it ended up not being too bad. But, yeah, I definitely prefer usually not going for 3D. Luke Poncho, I'm going to replace my number 4. Oh, your number 4 is now Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery. I was wondering where that was on the list, but I wasn't sure if you had already seen it yet or not, because you might have gotten a theater that actually let you see it. Schofield Studios. I also watched Glass Onion in theaters. You lucky duck. You, Schofield Studios. I'm just slightly jealous. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome. I also watched Glass Onion in theaters, and it's excellent. It was funny, shocking, and all the actors do great. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing all across the board. I'm hearing just fantastic things about this movie, and it's killing me that I can't see it until I have to watch it on Netflix. Mason the Nerd. What's up, Mason the Nerd? Thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks for being here, man. What's up? Not much, man. Just having a great time talking with you guys. This has been a really fun show. Elizabeth, I forgot Matilda was coming out this year. Yeah, they have Matilda the musical. It looks fine. I'm honestly, I watched the Matilda movie with Danny DeVito, directed by Danny DeVito, for the first time only a couple months ago. My wife grew up with it. She loves it, so she eventually showed it to me. And I thought it held up pretty. It's a very twisted kids movie, but I kind of liked it because of that. So I don't really have much plans to watch Matilda the musical on Netflix, but I did like Matilda, so maybe I'll like the musical. Who knows? Lisbeth, here I go. Oh, here are my top 5. Okay, perfect. Number 5, Avatar 2. Nice. Number 4, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Did I miss number 3? I don't see a number 3 in here, Elizabeth. 5, 4, yeah. Anyways, number 2 goes to Glass Onion, and number 1 is Violent Night. Yeah, a lot of people anticipating Violent Night. I'm kind of surprised Glass Onion is below Violent Night, but I mean that movie does look like a lot of fun. Violent Night looks great. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that too. Schofield Studios. I'm one of the lucky people who watched it on the screen. Yeah, you know what? I feel like every person that went to a screening of Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery on the movie theater screen, I feel like they should get an honorary t-shirt that says, I got to watch Glass Onion on the big screen. You Netflix losers. And you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's like there's just a few people. I think it only opened in like 700 theaters. So there's only like I don't know, I'm not going to do math right now, but there's a handful of people in the world that can say that they got to see Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery on the big screen, and you're one of them, and I'm not jealous at all. Not at all. Luke Ponto, it's called Bloodshot. Oh, that's the Vin Diesel one, called it's Bloodshot, not Bloodsport? Bloodspot? Did I say Bloodspot? That's kind of funny. Luke Ponto. At first, I thought Bloodshot was so bad it's good movie, but the more I think about it, I come to think it's just atrocious. Still haven't seen it. No plans to see it. All I've heard is bad things. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be watching that anytime soon. Luke Ponto. My theater didn't get Glass Onion, unfortunately, so I have to wait till Netflix. Yeah, you're one of the Netflix losers. You're one of us. I mean, that's the majority of the world, to be fair, but not everyone's allowed into the cool exclusive club that Schofield's in. Lisbeth, are you gonna watch Turtles Mayhem? It's a new Ninja Turtles movie coming out in 2023. Won't. I honestly won't. Obviously, after Out of the Shadows, I'm curious about it because I grew up with the Ninja Turtles. I mean, like I didn't grow up in the '80s, but I grew up watching the '80s cartoon on reruns, and I watched the 2003 cartoon that they did. I'm sure it was on like Cartoon Network or something. In Canada, it was on a station called Teletoon. I watched that all the time. Love the Ninja Turtles. Love the '90s film, the live action films. The Michael Bay ones they're fine. I'm very curious about this Turtles project because Seth Rogen's doing it. He's kind of giving his take on it. I'm hoping that there's some things for me because my biggest thing with the Turtles is the Ninja Turtles, and granted they're kids' properties, but they didn't ever grow up with those who grew up with the Turtles. They've always stayed kiddie. So people like me who have grown to be 24 but still love the Ninja Turtles, they don't make content for those adults that love the Turtles. And I don't know if Seth Rogen is going to, unfortunately. So I'm curious to see what they've done with this animated Turtles movie. And I probably am going to check it out, but I don't have high hopes for it, to be honest. Lisbeth. Okay, sorry, I forgot 3. Babylon. Okay, number 3 is Babylon for you. Okay, that makes sense. Schofield Studios. Well, when you live near Hollywood, you get 3 things: theme parks, celebrities, and special screenings. Yeah, no kidding, man. I can't believe... I was just talking about this with my wife the other day. I can't believe that there are people in the world who can sit on the couch one Sunday afternoon watching TV, turn off the TV, and just go, "You want to go to Disneyland? Yeah, let's go to Disneyland for the evening." And then they just get in their car and go to Disneyland. Like, I've only been to Disneyland one time, and it was like 5 years ago, and it was only because my mom got into a car accident, and the insurance money, or the money that she got from the loss from, I don't remember, it was court stuff. The money that she got from that, we were able to go to Disneyland. We never would have been able to go otherwise. And we had a great time. I had to get on a plane and fly there and everything, and it took a very long time to get there. And we were only there for 3 days, so we had to take like all the advantage of it in the world, and then we haven't been back since. But there are people that just can go every day, whenever they want. They can just drive down the street and go to Disneyland, which is just mind-blowing to me. It's just mind-blowing. But that's really cool that you have that opportunity and that you live in a place that you can do that. That's really awesome. Luke Ponto. I watched the Wednesday show on Netflix last week, and it was so good. Best thing Tim Burton has done in a good minute. Yeah, I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, so I wasn't really looking forward to Wednesday. I've also never seen anything Addams Family. Like, Addams Family has never been a part of my life. I've never watched the show, if it was a show. I've never watched the movies. So I wasn't, in any sense of the word, anticipating Wednesday. But I'm hearing good things about it. I'm hearing people... I didn't like the trailer too much. The trailer seemed a little bit too mean-spirited to me, so I wasn't anticipating it very much. But I'm hearing good things about it, so maybe I'll check it out. We'll see. Lisbeth, I deserve a t-shirt that says, "I am a Netflix loser." Yeah, we all... I want that. Maybe if I ever started a merch store on this channel... If I ever did that, I think the first thing I would put out would be "I'm a Netflix loser." I think that's funny. Lisbeth, I'm watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 Nick series. Don't even get me started on that. I hated it. But don't think that just because it's from Nickelodeon, it's all funny and giggles. No, it gets dark. Okay, it gets dark. Interesting. I watched... I don't know. There was some... I think it was the 2012 Nick series. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I watched the premiere episode of that when it went to Nickelodeon, and I was like, "Oh, it's so dumb. It's awful. What have they done to my turtles?" I don't know. I was like 15 when they did... how old was... No, I was 13. I was 13 when that came out. So it's like... I was just past it. It was a new Turtles show for a new generation. I'm sure it wasn't any more ridiculous than the stuff I watched when I was younger, but I hated it. I did not like what they did with it. Luke Ponto, there should be a T-shirt that says "I'm a physical media lover." Yeah, someone get on that. Definitely, I'm a physical media lover. I mean, you definitely don't want to misprint that and say I'm a physical lover, but a physical media lover. Yeah, you can walk around town and wear that. Lisbeth, I have to plan like 4 months ahead if I'm going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us do. Especially if you're like if I wanted to go to Disneyland right now, I would have to ask my wife to clear our schedules for work, make sure that they line up. It would probably be in the summertime, so we'd have to plan months in advance, make sure that plane tickets are like it would just be a hassle. So to live near something like that is pretty cool. Lisbeth, I'm honestly excited for Spoiler Alert with Jim Parsons. I saw that when I was looking through the movies that were releasing. It had a limited release to it, so it wasn't a wide release, and I didn't really see. At least the site that I was looking at didn't have the I don't know the date that it changed to a wide release and not a limited release. So I decided to just leave it out. But I did see it in there. Elizabeth, I think it'll be a way better version of Bros. I don't know. I mean, you ask people like Luke Ponto, they love Bros, and I think Bros was pretty well received critically and audience wise, wasn't it? I never saw it. I don't really have any plans to, but yeah, who knows? Maybe Spoiler Alert could be better. Luke Ponto, Wednesday felt like a more serious take on the character of Wednesday Addams. Yeah, the trailer definitely gave that sense. It seemed more serious. It didn't. I think the Addams family, from what I know, it's a little bit more of a goofy, lighthearted property. I don't know. I've never seen anything from it, but definitely the trailer for this seemed a little bit dark. Lisbeth, season 1 was okay. Season 2 was okay too. Season 3 was amazing and dark. Half of season 4 was bad, and the other half was great. They kill Splinter? What? They even kill Splinter? What? You don't kill Splinter? That's insane. I didn't realize what you were talking about until you said they killed Splinter. Wow. All right, I'll give them. They have balls. They definitely went for it. That's crazy. They kill Splinter. Wow. That makes me sad. I haven't even watched it. Schofield Studios. Well, I need to go. I have to get to an early screening of Avengers Kang Dynasty. Just kidding, but I do have to go. So bye. Bye, Schofield Studios. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for coming in here, chatting. It was great seeing you. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Have a good night, man. Lisbeth. Leo literally decapitates Shredder. Oh, okay. I was so worried you were going to say Leo decapitated Splinter, and I was like, I gotta know what the story is there. Leo literally decapitated Shredder. You know what? The 2003 Turtles show that I watched, it had a darker edge to it too. I remember that show being darker and a little bit more mature and serious. But I don't think they ever decapitated Shredder. That's crazy. Schofield Studios, great stream as always. Thank you so much, Schofield. That means a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the support. Have a great night, man. Or day. I don't know where you are. It's nighttime where I am. Lou Ponto, I looked on Google and 42% of people that have responded to the film liked Bros. Okay, wait, what? 42% of people that have responded to the film liked Bros. Only 42% of people liked Bros? That's less than half of the people that watched it. That's not good. Luke Ponto says, no slander for Bros in my house. Yeah, fair enough, man. Interesting, 42%. Thought it'd be a little bit more. Lisbeth, I think Bros will beat Spoiler Alert in comedy. I can't speak to any of that. I haven't seen Bros. All I know is that I found the trailer very unfunny. And I haven't seen anything from Spoiler Alert besides the poster. So I can't really speak anything on that. All right, guys, and with that, it looks like we are all caught up on our comments and questions, so I think we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, everyone who watched live, who watched the replay, everyone who listened over at the Zach Milne Talks Movies podcast. These podcast episodes are starting to come out a couple more days after the live stream, after the show happens, as opposed to the night of, because I'm having some issues with podcast or Apple Podcasts and getting it on Spotify and stuff like that. So that'll be out in a couple days, but thank you guys who are listening to that now. And as always, thank you everyone who watched live. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys. I had a great time, a lot of fun talking with all of this with you. It was a packed show. We had a lot to go through, guys. Thank you for sticking through it with me. Elizabeth, as always, amazing show. Gotta go see ya. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Elizabeth. Thank you for being here. Lou Poncho says, there are some extremely hilarious jokes that made me bust laughing during Bros. Well, I'm glad you had a great time with that, man, and who knows, maybe one day I'll see it. Luke Ponto, great stream as always, my guy. Thank you so much, Luke Ponto. Thank you for always jumping in the stream here, man. You always make it that much more fun. Thank you so much for joining. And Elizabeth says, gotta go see Kang Dynasty with Schofield. Yeah, okay, you guys have fun. All right, guys. Thank you again, guys, for being here. I've been Zach Milne. We'll talk to you guys again real soon. Oh, and I'll see you next week. Same Zach time, same Zach.